Welcome in to We Gon' Figure It Out.
Huh. Did I get it?
You did.
Alright, so
It's been a long time, I feel like.
we didn't do show last week, but Navon had National Honor Society, and Braden also had a makeup baseball game.
Right.
So those were our reasons for not recording last week. And I guess it just feels like it's been a long time, but it was just that 1 week we missed.
I know it is. One week seems like a long time.
We got a question to answer that someone asked us a question. We're going to get to the question after our main topic of contentment. Brian's on is having fun, so hopefully I don't remind you of work too much, Brian. So our today's show is about contentment, which by definition is a state of happiness or satisfaction. So in a lot of different areas, we have to do like a self-evaluation and kind of just ask ourselves, in what areas are we content?
Right.
So we always kind of subscribe to the fact that we should try to find a way to be content in all things.
Right.
And in doing that, that's easier said than done. Like to honestly find yourself happy. Because a lot of times we understand that like we should have joy and this overall big picture, but to find yourself in a state of being where you're happy with things and you're satisfied with the way things are, you have to fight for that sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to fight for contentment. So it takes a certain level of maturity and self-evaluation to be able to figure out whether, how you can be content.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the areas that typically people struggle with contentment?
In their work, in the job that they do, I would say probably
social gatherings. Typically most people find like struggle with it. Like if you got to go to school all the time, it's like, am I content with the cast of characters I'm around or the grades that I'm getting or those type of things? People find themselves struggling with being content when it comes to even their church life, because it's like, there's evolving changes and different things of that nature, and people struggle in those areas. I think living arrangements too, and not living arrangements but like, am I in the place that I need to be in? Am I, do I move out of state or do I stay here, or, those types of things. And
too.
I think,
Hey Justin, hey Jerry.
Experiencing it with your job is one of the scariest things, because like by that definition, I'm gonna keep coming back to like that state of happiness or satisfaction. It's funny because with a job, you don't get, you get a check.
Yeah.
It's not like nobody's paying you to be happy or satisfied.
Oh.
And so sometimes
Hey Carla.
It's a little bit of a fear that we may have of moving on or trying to chase happiness or, or satisfaction at another job, because we're like, well, hold on, I need to get a check.
Yeah.
Like we often feel like we don't have permission to find contentment in our career fields. So
can you find yourself not in a place of contentment, but just settling?
Yeah.
Where does the boundary cross?
Yeah. And I think there's two healthy ways of settling. Like, or I guess settling sounds like a negative word, but there's that thing where you can say, you know what, I don't like it here, but I'm going to look around and I'm going to try to find the best out of it, and I'm going to have contentment. I'm going to have joy. I'm going to have happiness, and I'm going to be satisfied with what I got. I've
been in that place before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like finding it, and I guess that's like the way if you're going to settle, that's the way you settle, by taking the best and really assessing the situation.
So that's contentment, I think.
But there's certain situations where no matter how you spin it, you're just not happy there. Mm-hmm. And that's when it's dangerous, because then that's when we end up doing things. Within relationships with individuals, I think that's one of the things that's really important for us to evaluate honestly. Like in marriage, you're locked into it. You made that covenant. Mm-hmm. And so it's sort of like, okay, well, regardless if I'm feeling content or not, I got to be here. And so, but still, what are you going to do to fight to get to that point of satisfaction or get to that point of happiness?
Yeah.
Because existing isn't fun all the time. Sometimes you got to just, what do you say?
I thought I'd be content with contacts. Now I got one until Friday. Glasses for life.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I hate contacts. But yet, every now and then I pop them in. But they don't go right.
Yeah.
They never do. I struggle. I have a struggle with it.
Yeah.
I need to just switch to. But see, I can't put my finger in my eye every day.
You need to be glasses for life, like Justin.
And just be content with glasses for life, and call it a day.
Yeah.
But I think fighting for that every day is a key thing. But I think looking at the warning signs that you're slipping away from it, the things that used to give you joy, if it no longer gives you joy in that situation, and you find yourself getting stale over and over again, you're always finding yourself like, man, I gotta renew myself in this situation again. Then that's a struggle. So that you've got to fight for, like you got to say, okay, well, what? Maybe now I make the big move. If I'm tired of fighting for,
I think at that point it's time to figure out. Hey, Keela, I think at that point it's time to figure out, what God wants you to do next, because He may be putting that on your heart to, get you to move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think
Hey, Vina.
Whether it's relationships or whether it's just, like I said, the job, a church, or even there's a lot of different things that people are tempted to walk away from because they no longer satisfied.
Yeah.
There's that self-evaluation. Is it me? Is it something within me? Mm-hmm. I think for me, I always, in that self-evaluation, I have to be honest with what I go through. And what that situation is given, is it contributing to certain things? So
because some things can be a test.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm testing you right here, to get you to respond a different way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
you're passing tests and everything. So
I think for me, I always have to look at things and it's like, okay, what do I can deal with depression in a bad way if I find myself not doing the things that I'm supposed to do to keep that contentment going. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in relation, we talk about relationships a lot when it comes to, what we talk about mainly on the show. If in a marriage, if in our marriage things aren't I have to do that evaluation. Okay, well, if we're arguing and fighting and we're getting tired of arguing and fighting with each other, well, when was the last time we did the opposite of arguing and fighting? When was the last time we went out on a date?
Yeah.
When was the last time we celebrated the good things? When was the last time we chose to laugh? And then what things can I say we enjoy right now? Because in the middle of an argument or middle of a fight, it could just bring me low. Mm-hmm. And what I have to do is say, okay, well, what am I content with about my marriage? What is it that I love about Regina? What is it that me and Regina share? What does the marriage represent in my life right now? And I think that's the key thing, is
being intentional to find the joy. Being intentional to seek the contentment.
Yeah, because there's certain things that I'm like, it's a good thing. Like, for example, we'll watch television, certain television shows we'll share together. Mm-hmm. And that might sound simple to some people, but we have our, right now, we do Rosewood, which I didn't think was a show I was going to watch, period. But now, but I watched the first one, and then you got in, and now you're in further than me, because you take advantage of me not being here on Saturday.
Well,
and you was going to watch all of the episodes without me.
No, I thought you were already done with the season.
No, I've not watched any of it.
I learned that last night.
Yeah.
I thought you were already finished.
But I'm the type of person that don't mind missing an episode when it comes to, I can miss one here and there. I can go to sleep for a whole episode. And
no,
as long as the characters didn't change, I don't care.
I want to see all of them, episodes.
But I think, as something as silly as that is, that's the thing that I can say, you know what, well, at the end of the day, I got that. And that thing, we have that. And that might, that's nothing that you just, people say,
brag about.
Yeah, but it's something, but there's a we. Mm-hmm. There's a we. The separation that your mind will go through when you're going through losing happiness or satisfaction in a situation, all of a sudden everything would be doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Every time you go to walk into that office, it's like,
nothing's right about this. Nothing's right about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it bleeds over into other areas of your life. That's why it's really important that if there's one area of your life where you find yourself losing contentment, like you're not happy there, you can't find satisfaction, be careful with that, because it's like a wildfire. It will come over into other areas of your life, and before you know it, nothing your kids say will be right. nothing that you know, like, and then it bleeds into you.
Mm-hmm.
It covers you, and it's like nothing you do you feel like could be right next.
Right.
And so it's like,
so where do you think lack of contentment comes from?
I think we all evolve as individuals, and sometimes for me, I can say my lack of contentment comes in when I don't hear to the call of change, of progression.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's time to progress beyond where I'm at, and I choose to stay still.
Yeah.
It's that disobedience to evolution, like to evolving, that everything else is like, it feels unnatural because I think a part of me has evolved to where it should be, and I'm dragging old baggage, or I'm trying to stay in another place. And we do that in our relationship. We want to still act like we chase after the first 30 days of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, but that was meant to be the first 30 days.
Right.
And we chase after that innocent romance. It's not innocent. Once I done seen you use the restroom with the door open, you know, it's not innocent anymore. I didn't say you, although. But, you know, it's we don't chase, we stop chasing certain things.
So I think there's another reason why we, you know, lose sight of contentment, and I think that's we're not having a personal relationship with Christ.
Yeah. No, I thought you were gonna say something else. I'm sorry. I was waiting on.
I'm like, oh well, maybe he doesn't agree. But I think sometimes we can lose sight of that is because we have to stay in communication with him.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that, then everything is off. And whether people realize that or not, that's where the lack of joy comes in. That's where the depression comes in. I mean, you have all these different factors that causes you not to be content anymore in the place that you're in. Because what if he's not wanting you to move yet? Mm-hmm. What if this is where you're supposed to be at the time, right?
Right. Not to say that actual depression has come on because you don't have a connection with God, because that's not what we're saying.
No.
But yeah.
But what I'm saying is just a whole different array of things happen when we lose sight of content, when we're not content anymore.
Yeah.
And depression is one if we're not content. You don't think?
I won't say that something that can be considered a chemical imbalance comes on just because of one particular lack of one thing. But
I'm not saying just one thing, but I'm just saying it snowballs into several different things. But I'm thinking contentment is a major one as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. So.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
So, I think that's another variable into losing sight of contentment. So you said yours, and I was just giving you mine. So, hey, Sherry.
All right. So we were asked a question. Are we good on contentment? Are we content with the contentment?
I guess so. That was fast.
Well, you got some more?
I mean, I don't know. I guess not.
We were asked a question by Miss Dorothy. She said, I have a question, maybe a topic, possibility for the show. If you had the option, would you go back and live a day, week, month, a day, week, or a month?
In the time when Jesus walked the earth to be one of his followers?
I would say no, because I like air conditioning. I prefer tennis shoes. And no, I mean, you know, I would say it would be great, but no, just because of the fact that it's something about physical being. Like, I understand and know and feel I have that personal relationship where I feel Christ with me. But to know, like, to have gone through what our minds go through, to have someone there physically and then not there, and then, you know, I mean, like, to go through the emotionals, ups and downs, and then to see the things that they would have had to see, and then the assignment to die the way that they, you know, to do the things that they did. Mm-hmm. I would say I would want to do the apostle things, you know what I'm saying, like the things after. But so, like, would I want to live like be there on the scene right after he died? Yes, I could probably do that. But
to me, I don't know if I would want to deal with the death that he dealt with. But I think there's something comforting about I know that he's real because I witnessed it. I was
Yeah.
there. I walked alongside him. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't, of course I believe.
Yeah.
And I know that he's real for myself now. But I'm saying to actually walk alongside him and know that I know is amazing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it easier back then. So it would definitely have to be a situation where I knew nothing about today's world. No, toilet paper and air conditioning, TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, now, yeah, if I'm just
Technology.
born into it and I'm comfortable the way they were comfortable in that day, then yeah. But like, if you drop me into then,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
no. I mean, like
I think I'm a little selfish. I would want to have all the stuff that I have now and still like have him right there physically with me.
Yes. That was a good question.
That was a good question.
I think questions like that and other questions are things that we have to, in order to keep contentment in different areas, we have to stimulate those type of conversations. Like, ask each other challenging questions that makes a person think on the fly. Like, I think...
So are you happy where you are right now?
In life?
Are you content?
No, it's a lot of areas where I'm like, nah, something's got to change. It's a lot of different areas in my life where, but as far as my marriage, yeah, I'm great with that. I mean, I think
You just have to say that because I'm sitting right here.
I think
I'm just kidding.
the biggest thing is, for me, is trying to decipher the truth of contentment up against, do I want improvement? Yes, I want improvement in every area of my life.
Yeah.
But am I satisfied and happy although the improvement hasn't happened yet?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so those are some of the struggles sometimes. It's like, how long, I mean, like me striding toward a better day or me wanting something more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I let that cloud the situation and say, okay, and I might think that I'm not happy. I might, like, even in my actual job, there's moments when it's rough. But overall, you can't beat what I do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't beat that. Like, so, even when I'm not happy with the situations, the people, the coworkers, or the clients, or however you put it, it's still, overall, it's like, yeah, you can't, I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, I'm 100% satisfied with what God has given me in that job. I'm 100% satisfied with the lifestyle and the life that I have. So, very content, but wanting improvement.
Yeah.
Like, I want improvement in areas of my body, my mind. I need to improve in those areas. I'm not okay with staying the same.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, like you said, I'm very content in my marriage. I am not content with my health. My physical appearance. I'm not content with that. And, sometimes I teeter the line of not being content in other areas like, work sometime. But overall, I think I'm content. I think I just sometimes want something different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm learning a lot and I'm doing a lot of new things. And so that's a cool aspect of it. But sometimes it's like, what else is there?
Yeah. And I think for us growing up in the Midwest area here, it's sort of like we want to get out of here eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And the older you get, the more it's like, well, when do you get out of here? At what point do you, I've always admired the people who say, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they pack up, they quit their job, and they go.
Yeah.
And when you have children and responsibilities, you don't do that. But for me, and I think even with you, we both get those urges.
Yeah.
Like, if we didn't have children, I don't think we would be here. I think we're here because of the stability that we need to provide in the examples, and we're willing to sacrifice that urge to move forward and to do other things for our children's, safety and well-being. But I think we wouldn't have, knowing our personality types, and that's what I think, that's the common bond that does draw us together. We're not okay. We're not content with the idea of living the rest of our life. And I hate to say the word stuck, but placed in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like, either one of us, both of us have a vision of not being here.
Yeah.
And I don't You know,
and I always have, even before I met you. You know what I mean? It was always my desire to live elsewhere. You know, to see new things. So.
All right. So the key thing is to not act on it too quickly.
That's right. I mean, you have to be led. You have to be led. So.
Yeah, we're late. I had to record the barbershop today.
Hey, Aunt Sharon, and Braden had piano lessons late, so the schedule is just kind of all messed up right now. So you're right. We're in here late.
All right. Well, we're out of here now.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on We Gonna Figure It Out.